Hey there, friends. Jeff Fritz here, and I've got another interview as part of .NET Conf 2019. I'm here with Tomáš from the .VVM project. Hey, Tomáš, good to see you.
Hi, Jeff.
So, .NET Core 3 was just released here as part of .NET Conf 2019. That's got to mean some big things for your project, .VVM.
Exactly. We have just released .VVM 2.4. It's still in preview, but it should fully support .NET Core 3.0. So I hope that we will get some performance benefits and we can get used to some new features that are coming in ASP.NET Core 3.0.
Oh, that's terrific. And .VVM's had a great history of being able to keep up with .NET Core and give folks a good user interface framework so they can build their web applications.
Yeah, and we also have a backwards compatibility because we still support OWin and old ASP.NET, so we can run on almost everything.
Oh, that's terrific. Now, can you show us a little bit about how .VVM works and how we can use it with .NET Core?
Yeah, sure. I have, because I think that most of the people are familiar with the Blazing Pizza demo of Blazor.
Sure.
And I have rewritten the demo in .VVM, so you can download both versions and compare the differences between Blazor syntax and .VVM syntax, which is using model view model approach.
Oh, terrific. Let's take a look at that demo.
Okay, so easiest way to grab the demo is to go to www.vvm.com and look for the samples page in the menu, and the sample is right on the top. So when I open it, it gets me on GitHub, and you can just clone the repository and run it. There are 3 projects in the solution. I have kept the Blazing Pizza server and shared projects exactly the same as in Blazor, so there are no changes in these projects. This is just a bunch of shared classes between the client and server side, and this is basically a REST API which provides all the data required for the application. Technically, in .VVM, you don't need to have 2 separate projects because .VVM runs on the server, so it can directly access the database. But to keep the samples similar, I have kept this server-side part. So we need to start this REST API, which is a data source for .VVM, and also to start this application, and it should look exactly as the Blazor version of the Blazing Pizza. So I can select my pizza, I can choose some size, add some add-ons, and it stacks here on the sidebar. So I have the total and things like that. And if I look in the source code, you can see that this client-side project, this .VVM application, is running with .NET Core 3.0, and we are using .VVM ASP.NET Core 2.4. It's in preview, but it's on the public NuGet, so everybody can use it. And if you look in the page, then .VVM, you can see that .VVM is using a model view model approach. So we have some controls in the page, like repeater. And if you remember how things work in Razor or Blazor, you would use the for each loop in the view syntax, but in .VVM there are no code blocks in this view. So we have repeater for the collections, so it's an equivalent of the for each loop, and we have the visible property which can show or hide some elements on the page, and it's using data binding expressions which can evaluate anything in my view model. And the view model is just a C# class, and .VVM takes care of translating this class into JavaScript and to delivering it into the page. So if you look in the getPizza view model, which is the view model for my page, I have some dependencies from the constructor, and here is the state of the page. So I have a list of pizza specials, which are these tiles. I have a current order, so everything I put in the order, it's stored in this object. And there is a dialog when I select a special. So this model dialog has its own view model. And that's a very nice thing because in .VVM you can nest view models inside each other. So these components can be pretty standalone. You can use them on multiple pages as you know, as you want. And they can communicate using, for example, classic .NET events. So when I configure the pizza in my dialog, it will fire this event and I can attach to it. And the view model can contain also the methods. So I have, for example, a method remove pizza, which gets called when I just remove this pizza. .vvm will just call this function in my view model. So I have state and the logic together in my view model. And there are some other useful things. For example, .vvm has a kind of nice feature for working with class attributes, because typically you need to combine several CSS classes on an element based on some conditions. And we wanted to avoid the syntax that here inside the attribute I would write some data binding, because it's not nice and it's difficult to understand what's going on there. So I'm not composing the classes like this, but I can put some class which is on the element every time, all the time. And also I can add the class which is named hidden based on a Boolean condition. So whenever this expression changes, this class is added or removed from the element. So these are some view model, model view model flavors to the .html syntax, and we have a lot of controls like repeater or grid view and things like that. So make sure to download this .vvm version of the application and see how the Razor syntax is different from .vvm syntax. We have listed the most obvious differences here. So here on the README of the repo, you have just the Razor version and .vvm version of the same thing. So you can see what's different. And if you want to try .vvm, it's very easy. Just go to .vvm.com and download the extension. We support Visual Studio 2017 and 2019. And if you would like to create a new project, you can just search for .vvm in the project templates, and you can create a .NET Core project, and you can select which version of .NET Core you want, and we already support .NET Core 3.0. So .vvm.com and download your extension today.
Wow, Tomáš, that was great. A lot of really neat features in .vvm that make it easier for folks to understand, and I really like building that markup-focused set of HTML. I don't have to think about interweaving C# with it. Really great stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
So we already saw that folks want to get their copy of .vvm, go to .vvm.com, and there was a download button in the corner. Thanks so much, Tomáš. I really appreciate having you join us here for .NET Conf.
Thank you.
All right, and the rest of you out there, I hope you have the great rest of your .NET Conf 2019.